Ever feel like your business runs on one sentence? Ask HR. Go ask HR. Did you ask HR? Not because anyone is trying to be difficult, not because your team lacks capability, but because it's faster to interrupt someone than it is to search for the answer, especially when there isn't a clear place to go find that answer. And over time, that becomes the system, except it's not really a system, it's a dependency. And in a small business, that dependency gets expensive fast. Welcome back. I'm Bridget C. Lewis, and this is AI in HR, the RockstarBoss15, where we spend 15 minutes walking through one prompt, one tool, or one practical process that makes small business HR easier and more effective. Imagine this. It's the weekend before a holiday. You are the head honcho at an assisted living community. You're trying to make sure every shift is covered. You're thinking about who's off, who's working, and what the schedule actually looks like going into the holiday. It's 10:15 in the morning. The overnight shift just did the handoff with the morning team, and your HR manager has already been stopped 4 times. Hey, do I have any PTO left? Do I get holiday pay for this shift? When is payroll processing this week? Did benefits enrollment already close? None of it is urgent, but it all needs an answer right now. Then a supervisor walks by and someone asks the question. And without really thinking it through, the supervisor simply responds, "Just ask HR." And now the supervisor has just redirected the problem instead of solving it, and it lands right back on HR. And because it's a holiday weekend, nobody wants to guess. So instead of checking a system or looking it up, they go straight to the fastest source, HR. And by now, it's almost noon and nothing else has moved because all morning has been spent answering the same 5 questions from 5 different people. And before long, this becomes the norm. Not because you want it this way, but because nothing else has been built. So every question finds the same place, every interruption hits the same person, and the work that actually matters keeps getting pushed back. Let's call this what it is. If employees have to interrupt someone to get basic information, then you don't have self-service. What you have is access through interruption. And interruption, my friends, is not neutral. It costs time, it breaks focus, it delays decisions, and it puts pressure on the same person over and over again. The reality for small businesses is that this hits harder than most because you don't have layers of HR. Most of the time, HR is one person, and sometimes that one person is you. Managers are already stretched, schedules are tight, and operations don't slow down just because someone needs to check a PTO balance. So what happens? Well, people guess, or they wait, or they interrupt. None of those, though, help you run the business any better. So instead of reacting to the same questions all day, we're going to build something that answers them even before they're asked. And we're going to use AI to help us structure this the right way. So at this point in the series, you're already familiar with the HR Snapshot structure. If you're newer to this, and this is your first or second time jumping in, go back to the foundational session, which is pinned at the top of the playlist. That's where I break down the HR Snapshot in full. For today, we're not reteaching it, we're applying it. And we're grounding this in company profile, operational challenge, and desired output. Today, the focus is simple: protecting time and reducing interruptions. So let's go ahead and swap over to Microsoft Word. Now, we won't review the entire prompt, but we will zero in on the operational challenge. This is where we move out of general HR talk and into what actually happens in your business. We're not saying to the AI, build me an FAQ. We're saying, here's what just happened in my business. It's a holiday weekend. HR is getting interrupted over and over again. Supervisors are redirecting instead of answering. And now everything is bottlenecked in one place. That level of detail, friends, is what changes the output, because now the AI understands, okay, this isn't about information, it's about interruption and dependency. It's about consistency across managers. And that's what you want. You don't want a general answer. You want something built for the exact situation that you're dealing with. And we're clear about the outcomes. We're telling it, build me a system, organize the information, help managers respond consistently, and show us how to actually roll this out. That's the difference between experimenting with AI and actually using it to fix something that is costing you time every day. All right, so now let's run it. The first thing you'll notice, it doesn't jump straight into answers. It starts by asking those context-clarifying questions which we instructed it to ask us. That's very intentional, because now the AI is trying to figure out where the breakdown actually is. Is it PTO confusion? Is it payroll timing? Is it manager confidence? That's how you move from something generic to something you can actually use. Then look at how it begins to organize the information. You're going to see categories like pay, PTO, scheduling, benefits. That's coming directly from the situation that we gave it. Those weren't random topics. Those were exactly the interruptions happening in the story. Then it builds layered answers, quick answers so the employees don't have to stop anyone, and then deeper explanations so they can come back to it again 5 minutes later. That's how you start cutting down those repeat interruptions. And here's the part I want you to pay closer attention to: the manager decision support. Because remember, in the story, the breakdown wasn't just with the employees. We also had supervisors saying, go ask HR. And now we're correcting that. We're giving managers clear guidance: when to answer, when to escalate, how to stay consistent. That's how you start changing behavior, not just answering questions. And then finally, implementation, because none of this matters if it doesn't get used. So now you've got something that you can start with immediately. You have your top 5 questions, you have clear structure, you have a simple rollout. And instead of HR answering the same questions all day, the system starts handling it instead. Now, once you see what we just built, this is usually where someone will ask, why don't we just add a chatbot? And listen, chatbots are great. We'll actually be talking about them later in the series because they absolutely have a place. They're fast, they scale, they reduce interruption. But here's the problem. If your information is messy, a chatbot won't fix that. It will actually multiply that. It will give wrong answers faster and deliver more consistent confusion and add no context, right? So instead, we follow these steps. We set the structure first, which is what we're doing today. Then search second, and AI chatbot interaction comes third. That order really matters if this is going to be done right. Now, when you get this right, a few things will start shifting. Employees will stop guessing. Managers will stop defaulting to HR, and HR finally gets to breathe and has space to focus on the work that actually moves the business forward. This isn't about making HR less available. It's about making information more accessible. There's a huge difference. So here's today's takeaway. If your team has to ask someone for basic information, you don't have a system yet. You have a workaround. And over time, that workaround turns into constant interruptions from HR. What we did today is simple. We took something that feels like a people issue and treated it like a system issue. We structured the information, we made it accessible, and we used AI to support consistency instead of creating more noise. Because once your team knows where to go, they stop defaulting to HR. And that frees you up to actually run the business. So let's do this. Start with your top 5 repeat questions, run them through this process, and build from there. Because, my friends, better systems build better workplaces.